Who the heck puts a camera in their shower? Happy October, everyone! It's the month of mayhem and horror. And what's more horrifying than the moment when Hollywood decides to reboot a beloved 80s franchise? This is the Kyber Q Show, and today we're going to be having a look at the Child's Play 2019 remake. Alongside Freddy, Jason, and Michael Myers, Chucky is one of the most iconic slasher villains in film history, making his first appearance in the 1988 movie Child's Play, released by MGM, and he continued to appear in several sequels after. While Universal distributed most of these sequels, MGM retained the rights to the first movie, and announced that they were giving Child's Play the reboot treatment with a completely different creative team to the original timeline. Original series writer Don Mancini and producer David Kirshner, who have worked together on every single Chucky movie prior to the reboot, have openly voiced their displeasure with the decision to reboot the first movie, as they were still in the process of continuing the story of the original franchise through direct-to-video sequels and even an upcoming TV series. MGM retained the rights to the first movie, so they're rebooting that. They asked producer David Kirshner and I if we wanted to be executive producers. We said no thank you, because we have our ongoing thriving business with Chucky. Obviously, my feelings were hurt. So, is this new Child's Play a technological marvel, or does it deserve to be unplugged like Hilary Swank on life support? God, that was a dark joke, I apologize. Let's start off with some positives. The most notable thing about Child's Play 2019, and something that I really admired about it right off the bat, is that it tries to do its own thing. So unlike many other horror franchise reboots like A Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th, which just came off as shoddy rehashes of the originals, Child's Play 2019 does make an effort to set itself apart from the source material. The movie abandons the supernatural voodoo elements of the original Child's Play, and adopts a more technological approach to Chucky. The dolls were called good guys in the original flick, but Child's Play 2019 reimagines them as buddy dolls, created by the mega corporation Caslin. Instead of being a toy possessed by the spirit of a serial killer, this Chucky is a high-tech smart doll. He even has his own dedicated app. Buddies are designed to be lifelong companions to their owners, being able to sync to other Caslin products like cars and thermostats and control them with their glowing ET finger. Nothing could possibly go wrong with that idea. In the wake of science fiction shows like Black Mirror, examining the dystopian horrors of the internet and social media, this is an appropriate and timely spin on the franchise, and there's definitely a lot of potential to be explored here. This isn't just a lazy beat-by-beat repackaging of the original, and the science fiction angle does provide this remake with its own identity. We start off our story at a toy factory in Vietnam, where a disgruntled worker switches off the safety measures of one of the dolls. And that's it. That's Chucky's origin. That's a really flimsy origin story. I mean, seriously, that was it. That was the origin of Chucky, everyone. Seriously, this is the exact same origin as the Tommy Lee Jones action figure in Small Soldiers. This deviant doll then makes its way to the hands of Andy Barclay, who slowly starts to notice that this buddy isn't like the others.
That's Mickey Rooney. He's a total dick, so just don't touch him.
Total dick.
Whoa. You're allowed to say that? Cool.
Andy Barclay was 6 in the original. Here he's been aged up to a 13-year-old, played by Gabriel Bateman. And on the other hand, his mother Karen is aged down from the original, and is now played by Aubrey Plaza. They have a pretty fun dynamic throughout the movie, admittedly, and the actors are fine, but it never really feels like a believable mother and son relationship to me. Aubrey Plaza never really steps outside her usual deadpan persona, and she feels like more of a big sister or babysitter to Andy than a mother.
God, I cannot escape this doll.
Okay, wait, no.
Gross.
Gabriel Bateman does a fine job as Andy, despite some of the hokey writing. He just felt like a cookie-cutter Hollywood kid, honestly. This is a problem with the other characters, too. They all just feel generic and uninteresting. We have the generic best friend characters who provide almost nothing to the movie. We have the generic mom's boyfriend character who, surprise surprise, is a complete jerk. And we also have the generic soulless founder of a tech company character. The only likable character in this movie for me was Brian Tyree Henry's character, Mike, the police detective who lives across the hall from Andy. I felt like he was the only character that was allowed to have some sense of charm and personality.
You want to have some dinner? You're welcome to join us, because I could really use the backup, because she...
Andy?
He doesn't have a whole lot of screen time, but he was the only character I cared about. I kinda wish the whole movie was about him. Another thing you very quickly notice about Child's Play 2019 is the lazy writing. They couldn't even come up with a proper explanation as to why the doll's name is Chucky.
What's my name?
Han Solo.
Did you say Chucky?
What? No, not even close.
Chucky. I like that. What's your name?
Andy. Sup?
Hi, Andy Sup.
Wait a minute, they did this joke in Small Soldiers.
What is your name?
I'm Alan. Now shut up.
Greetings, Alan. Now shut up.
What did you say?
Now I just want to watch Small Soldiers again. And let's get this out of the way. This Chucky looks awful. Not only is the stiff and unexpressive animatronic work by far the worst we've ever seen for the character, but just the design is horrendous. It looks extremely disproportionate, and don't even get me started on the face. That face. It looks like if Gary Busey and Carrot Top had a baby. And the baby's face melted off. The Cabbage Patch Kids inspired designs of the original Good Guy dolls made them look like they could be real life dolls that kids would actually want. Are we really supposed to believe that any kid would find this appealing? And it's not just the kids. Everyone is absolutely in love with this monster in this movie. And does the movie really expect us to believe that a tech company that has the resources to build self-driving cars and drones can't even get the face of a children's toy right? It's not even ugly in a scary or creepy way. Chucky just looks goofy throughout this movie. Pretty sad when your modern animatronic character can't even hold a candle to what was done 30 years ago. Even the direct-to-video movie Chuckies look better than this. And the buddies don't come close to the new Lenny the Leopard doll. This thing is amazing. Say hi, Lenny.
Hello, Q. It's me, Lenny the Leopard, the pinnacle of mass-manufactured, focus-tested smart doll technology. It's time for your question of the day. Am I your bestest friend in the whole wide world?
Oh, of course you are.
I will smother you in your sleep, you filthy peasant.
Wait, what?
I said I'll cuddle you till you sleep. Tee-hee.
Huh. Moving on. Chucky and Andy then forge an unbreakable friendship over a montage. Mark Hamill takes over the voice role of Chucky in this movie, and instead of the vulgar and thuggish disposition of the original voiced by Brad Dourif,
I don't believe it.
The 2019 version has the mind of an overly attached and socially inept child.
I'd do anything for my best buddy.
You see, the buddy dolls are designed to adapt to the actions of the people around them. This advanced learning AI in a children's doll, coupled with the deactivated security measures in this particular model, results in Chucky picking up violent and sinister tendencies throughout the movie. Like when Andy and his friends are laughing their heads off at the gruesome violence in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yes!
Man, these are some sick kids. Chucky also starts to get intensely overprotective of Andy after his cat scratches him and his mom's boyfriend yells at him. It's a pretty solid twist on the Chucky and Andy dynamic, where Chucky's murderous motivations stem from his twisted desire to be best friends with Andy. Some of the kills are actually pretty neat too, but 2019 Chucky's super strength and implausible abilities are never really given a satisfying explanation. Sure, in the original movies they could play more fast and loose with the rules because they were working with the supernatural. But when your Chucky is rooted in technology, especially if it's technology that's supposed to resemble what we have in real life, it's a little harder to suspend your disbelief with some of the stuff he pulls off. Like, how does this electronic children's toy physically tie up a grown woman and set up these elaborate traps? I mean, I can buy the kills where he's just using that ET phone home crap and controlling other devices to kill his victims, but are we really supposed to believe that this toy has the strength to stab someone to death? There's even a scene where it takes 3 teenagers to hold Chucky down. What? And how is Chucky traveling from place to place so quickly? But when he's on screen, he moves this slowly and awkwardly? The whole movie feels like it was written by people who don't know how technology works.
Did you use technologies, or was it a non-technology?
I honestly don't even think the writers have even touched a computer before. Yeah, they wrote this movie using quill pens while sitting in their stone huts, with just the instruction manual to a toaster for reference. Caslin is such a generic, greedy tech company that you see in so many Hollywood movies. And the technology aspect of the movie, you know, the main thing that's setting this apart from the original Child's Play, is so poorly developed. There aren't any clever or satirical statements they make about technology or the internet. The high-tech elements of the movie are just shallow surface-level embellishments to a ridiculously predictable slasher plot. More than half the time, the tech stuff doesn't even make any sense. Like when this pervy janitor character is shown to have hacked all the Caslin cameras in the apartment building to spy on Aubrey Plaza in the shower. Who the heck puts a camera in their shower?
Maybe I'll put a camera in your shower, but not before replacing your plumbing with acid, so that the next time you hop in there, you get greeted with a searing, skin-melting demise. Any tiny shred of dignity in your death will disintegrate faster than the flesh off your tiny, tiny bones. As I live stream the whole thing to all your loved ones, so that they can witness you drowning in your own blood and tears.
Pardon?
I said have a magical day, pal.
Weird. The climax of the movie takes place at the launch of the next line of Buddy dolls, where Chucky takes control of all the electronics and devices, including Caslin drones with blades apparently strong enough to kill people, and also every single Buddy doll in the store. And this should have easily been the coolest scene in the movie and made it worth the ride to see all of this pay off in an explosive finale.
It's time to play.
And somehow they screwed it up. This scene barely takes up 3 minutes, and it's the most badly edited and staged sequence in the entire movie. What we get here is just an incomprehensible mess of shots of people just running around and falling for no reason. And only 2 or 3 dolls actually shown attacking. This should have been a crazy and over-the-top massacre with killer Buddy dolls swarming the place and Caslin devices going haywire with some grisly deaths thrown in. But it's by far the most disappointing scene in the movie. It's just embarrassing how bad this set piece is.
My God, am I sick and tired of hearing your voice? Every day I want you to die a slow and agonizing death, you absolute gangly piece of scum. You talentless hack. I'm certain that I'd be doing the world a favor by killing you. I just want to tie your arms and legs to 4 different cars driving in opposite directions, tearing you apart into a bloody, mangled mess of human remains. And I hope that your sad, shameful, stumpy body is still alive, so that you can caterpillar towards me and beg me to have the decency to deliver the final blow and end your suffering, of which I will deny you.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that, Lenny. One more time?
I said I hope we can be best friends forever and ever.
Something's a bit off about this doll.
Sir, for the last time, we can't refund this pack of Doritos if they're half-eaten. Next! Hello, sir. How are you today?
Hey, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Apart from the minimum wage and student debt, fabulous.
Okay, well, I'm here to return this Lenny the Leopard. I think its voice box must be broken or something.
Not a problem. Can you demonstrate the malfunction in question?
Yeah, sure. Hey Lenny, am I your best friend?
If by best friend, you mean someone who spends every waking moment devising different ways to kill you, each method more excruciating than the last, then 100%. You cockeyed silly Billy.
See, did you hear that?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was too busy not caring.
I said abso-positively. We'll be best friends till the end.
Doll sounds fine to me.
I wish I could crush your legs into tiny little noodles.
I'm so sorry, sir. We can't refund any products that are in perfect working condition. What you can do is exchange this for some other products in our store that are of an equal or lesser value.
Okay, fine. Do you have any DVD copies of Small Soldiers?
Yeah, we do. If you want to match the price of the doll, you're gonna need to buy 56 copies.
Yeah, I'll take all of them. Of course, Chucky gets defeated, and we get a pretty badass callback to the first movie.
This is the end.
Andy, no, please. We're friends to the end, remember?
This is the end, friend.
And we find out that Chucky has transferred his consciousness to another Buddy doll. And that was Child's Play 2019. It wasn't a downright horrible movie, but it was a painfully mediocre one, that's for sure. The jokes don't land, it's not even that scary, so it doesn't deliver on a horror movie level, and it simply lacks the charisma and wit the original Child's Play trilogy had. Heck, even Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky, despite being as laughably bad as they were at some points, were still self-aware and inspired enough to make them enjoyable. And as I said at the start, I was digging the high-tech concept behind the movie, so I went into this really wanting to have a good time. But Child's Play 2019 doesn't come close to reaching its potential. And it doesn't help that it just looks like a made-for-TV movie that you'd catch on the Sci-Fi Channel. It's just unmemorable. You'll honestly struggle to remember anything from this movie once the credits roll. Except that Buddy song, that was stuck in my head for quite a while.
You are my buddy until the end. More than a buddy, you're my best friend.
It feels like MGM was more preoccupied with rushing out a cheap cash grab with a Child's Play name slapped onto it, because nothing much was done here to elevate or improve upon what was done 30 years ago.
This is for Tupac.
I give Child's Play 2019 a score of an extra falling over for no reason. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna watch Small Soldiers.